Hello guys, this is Prince Kenya back with another video, and this is an informatory video. I have come here to guide you and to help you know on how you can apply your driving license over here in the United States of America, on how you can apply for your driving license over here in the United States of America. I told you earlier before that whatever step that I will be achieving or whatever thing that I will be going on and get a know-how on how you can go about a certain things, there is no way I can just keep silent with a good information that I know it can help somebody outside there. So the information that I usually give are the one that myself I have worked in, or myself I have done the process and I have known how it all goes. I may not give you 100% correct information or 100% full information, not correct information but full information, but whenever I give you, even if it's 60%, now you can go on yourself or by yourself or do more researches about it, because knowledge is everywhere. Whenever you want to know anything, I usually love Google because Google is my friend. Over here in the United States of America, Google is something that can help you a lot, because whenever you want to figure out anything, whenever you want to know anything that you may need to know, just go to Google. And also in YouTube, there are a lot of YouTubers that have made a video concern every title and almost all the not all, but probably almost all the titles of anything that you may want to know. So don't just stay there without information, because information is power. So whenever you want to know anything, just go to YouTube, search, put the title of anything that you want to know, go to Google, put the title of anything that you want to know, and you will be oriented and informed. So how can you go about applying a driving license over here in the United States of America? How can you go about applying a driving license over here in the United States of America? This one varies from one state to another. This one varies from one state to another. So the way you can apply driving license over here and the requirements and the condition does not rhyme with the same way. Like, let me give an example of New York. The same way you can apply your driving license in New York, and another person in Texas, and another person in California, then another person over here in Pennsylvania, it's not the same. But there are some requirements and some things that are almost common, but it's good to do the researches of how you can apply the driving license over in the state that you will be, because the same procedure that I follow on applying my driving license, it is still somehow the guidelines are the same, but somehow there are some things that might be different from your state to another state. So, but there are those common things like the requirement, there are those commonly no requirements. Some routes are almost the same, and a lot of routes are almost the same. Guidelines and regulation are almost the same, but there are some procedures that might be different from state to another. So let me give you an example of Pennsylvania state, of whereby this is mandatory and regulatory to all the other states. So when you relocate over here in the US, because probably I might be talking to a lot of immigrants, so when you relocate over here in the US, you are supposed to take a runner's permit or a runner's lesson. You are supposed to take a runner's permit, because there is no way you can do a driving test without a runner's permit. So the first thing that you are supposed to do is to apply for a runner's permit, and there is no way you can apply for a runner's permit without leading the lesson, because automatically you will go and fail. This does not only occur here in Pennsylvania, but this occurs to all the 52 states in the United States. I don't know whether they are 52 or something, but let me call them all the states in the United States of America. So my advice is, once you relocate over here in the US, your first day, your second day, your first week, or even before you relocate over here in the US, once you get your visa and now you are sure you are relocating in the US and you are going on this state, go to Google with your phone, with your smartphone, Android or computer. Just Google that state driving manual book. Just Google manual. Like, let me give you an example. If at all you know you are going in Texas state, if at all you know you are going Texas, go to Google, just download the Texas driving manual book. If at all you are going to New York, just go to Google, download that it's a PDF form. That's a book, online book. It's an e-learning book. Just Google New York manual driving book. New York manual driving. Over here in Pennsylvania, PA manual driving book. PA manual driving book. Then once you download that book, it's a PDF book. You gonna read it. That one is the one. It contains of science. It contains of rules. It contains rules of driving, science of driving, things like that. Those who have done driving in their country, they know. That is the theory book, the one that gonna help you to apply for the learner's permit, because learner's permit is a theory test, and there is no you can do that theory test without reading for it. So I am advising you, your first week of riding here in the US, if at all you are an immigrant, just download that manual book. You will put the name of the state, because that manual book differs from one state to another. That manual book differs from one state to another. The manual book for Pennsylvania is not the same with the Texas, because I told you there are some things that might be different from Texas to Pennsylvania. Although commonly 80% of things are the same, but 20% of things are different. So don't confuse yourself by downloading Pennsylvania manual driving book, but you are going to Texas. So if at all you are going to Texas, just put in search box Texas driving manual book. Once you download the book, take your time, read the book until you know now you are ready to book your learner's permit. Once you are satisfied that you can book your learner's permit, talk to your host, let your host apply for you or book for you your learner's permit. Let your host apply for you your learner's permit. And once your host will apply for you in your learner's permit, you will go to PennDOT. You will go to PennDOT all over the state. PennDOT is everywhere in the state. And once you go in PennDOT, now you will be ready to take your learner's permit. In PennDOT, the only document required is your host driving license, and your social security card. You yourself, the document that you will be required yourself is social security card, your passport, and your host driving license, nothing else. And the another thing that will be required is now the thing to show you that you are living with your host or you are living in this state. Like if you will go to Texas, you don't worry, because the social security card will be having the address of that state to show that you are living in that state. So about the address to show that you live in that state, that is not a no worry, because you will be having some mailing to show that you live in that state. And again, you will be living with your host, and social security card will come under your host address, so you have a proof of residency in that state. Once you give out those documents, that is in PennDOT. Runner's permit, there is nobody who come to ask you question. Runner's permit, it's all about you yourself and computer. You usually go and sit a place there is a computer. There are a lot of computers. Nobody who talks to you. Once you are the person that operates that computer. Don't worry, because some people might tell me, I don't know how to operate a computer. It's very easy, because even if you don't know how to operate a computer, that person will come and help you. You may call that instructor over there to come and help you. But it's just like a touch screen. Usually you don't use the mouse. Usually it's a touch screen. Usually you use just your hand to go to it. Asks you do you want to first it indicates your details, like your name, wherever your address and everything. You say yes, it's correct name. Then it goes to next question to ask you whether you gonna speak English. You want test in English or Spanish. For your case it's English. Then it goes to the main now test. Now it's gonna ask you the question about the rules, about the traffic sign, about the traffic rights, things like that. It's gonna show you some photos there. You're the person that's gonna create. You gonna fill it online. There is nowhere you're gonna fill it manually with pen and whatever. You're gonna fill it online. And once it's okay, the question in PennDOT for runner's permit matters. Like over here in Pennsylvania, there are 18 questions. And you are supposed to get 15 questions right. You are supposed to get 15 questions right for you to pass. And you know what? You are the person filling those questions online with a computer. There is nobody over there with you. So once you pass 15 questions plus, the computer at the end will put itself off and tell you, congratulations, you have passed. Congratulations, you have passed. The computer will put itself off and tell you, congratulations, if you have passed. But if you get below for 15 points, might be you get 14, 13 and below. It will tell you fail. It will tell you fail. So there is nobody over there to tell you whether you have passed or you have not passed. You yourself, before the end of a test, when you will answer the last question, the computer itself will tell you whether you have passed or whether you have not passed. So myself, I went to PennDOT, did my theory test, that is my runner's permit test, and passed. Out of 18 questions, I got 16 correct. Out of 18 questions, I got 16 correct. I had this question matters from one state to another, because I had like Texas. I don't know whether Texas or Minnesota or Texas. They are 4 questions and you are supposed to get 32 correct. So take your time while you are reading driving manual book. Take your time when you are reading driving manual book, because that thing that you will be reading on driving manual book is still the same thing that we go to be tested on a learner's permit. So myself, after passing, I got the runner's permit. I don't know whether my runner's permit somewhere far. So I got my learner's permit. It's a paperwork, and it's a paperwork. It's very far over here in my document. I wish I don't know why I had not carried it with me, but let me just go amend it and pick it. So this is my runner's permit, although I can't just open it because it contains some details and confidential details. Learner's permit is just a paper, and then once I got this paper, I was good to go now to do the driving test or physical test of my driving with my horse. Once you get this runner's permit, it's just a paper, by the way. It's a form of license, but in a paperwork. And once you get this paper, you are now good to go to do your physical driving test. So after I passed in PennDOT my runner's permit theory test, after I passed with the theory test work, now I was good to go for my horse to teach me a physical driving test, because your horse is not supposed to teach you. Sorry guys, your horse is not supposed to teach you physical driving test without a runner's permit. It is illegal, by the way, for your horse to teach you driving without a runner's permit. So once I got my runner's permit, I was now good to go for my horse to teach me now the physical driving test. And you know what? So after getting your runner's permit, because now I'm addressing to you, but I'm giving you an example of myself, you are now good to go for your horse to teach you now the physical driving test, driving on the road, parallel parking and something like that. So once I got this one, now I and my horse, we started now the physical driving test. And driving here, it's not that hard because the cars are automatic, or everywhere traffic lights are working. But we started now to do the physical driving test over the places that they are in parking lots where there are not a lot of traffic. Then after doing some driving test, physical test in parking lot, we went to the roads and I was good to go. So once you get your learner's permit, the next thing now is you and your horse to teach you on how to drive physical test, on how to drive the car physical test. As you know, as I told you, the vehicle over here, they are left-sided. Unlike my country, that the vehicles are right-sided. So even if you are a driver from your country, when you come over here, you will have to start afresh to learn about how to drive the left-sided. Although it's an advantage to you, because you would start from zero, being taught how this is a crash, this something, or this what it goes. You yourself, the only thing that you will do is to shift now your focus and your concentration from the right-sided car now to the left-sided car. So once your horse teaches you on how to drive the car and you feel that you are okay, because and the thing that you're gonna be tested of mostly in the driving test, physical driving test, it's a parking lot. You are supposed to know how to park your car on a parallel parking, this is straight on a parallel, because over here, like the way you usually see, a lot of people park their car on the sideway of the road. So you are supposed to know how to park your car on a parallel parking. So you and your horse will concentrate much on a parallel parking, and also on how to drive on a road, checking some signs, some traffic lights and things like that. It's an offense because it's a great offense when you don't understand this thing, and then the accident, you go and do an accident. So myself, when I thought I was okay because my horse sacrificed himself to teach me on how to drive, and now I was okay to do the driving test. and now I was okay to do. So we booked the driving license. About the date that you will book driving license, it matters with the state. There are some states that you can get near dates, and there are some dates that you can get further date. There are some dates that you can get near date, and there are some dates that you can get further date. There are those dates, and it matters with the state, because some state you can book a driving license. Like right now I'm making this video, it's on May. You may book your driving license test, now physical test, on May, but you will be given an appointment of July. Over here in the Pennsylvania, it's somehow faster, because if you book like on May, you will get like on June 1st or something. And there are some DMV offices. That you may book your appointment today and get an appointment tomorrow. So myself, I book an appointment at DMV. I book an appointment at DMV, and I got a date like 3 days later. I got an appointment of 3 days later, and I was here now to go and do my driving test, and I was now here to go and do my driving test. So I found the instructor over there in the parking lot, and the first thing was to do the parallel parking, but here nilikuwa nimeiva, so I did my parallel parking and passed, and now it was now the road test. On the road test, he checked, okay, before even I did the parallel parking, once I went over there, the instructor told me, just now go in. I went in, I put my seat belt. Once I put my seat belt, he told me, he asked me, okay, press the brake. I press the brake, press the brake, show me put the right turn indicator, put the left turn indicator. Then he asked me to which are the emergency right, hazard, that is hazard right. At first I was confused, I didn't know the emergency right, but then I remember my house showed me that Kabaton is the emergency right. Then I put that emergency right. Then when he asked me, put the wipers, I put the wipers. So he asked me generally about to know those things. Once I did those things, he entered in the car. Then I went and did the parallel parking. Once I did the parallel parking, I went further ahead and then to do the road test. And once I did the road test, I was good to go. He told me, congratulations. After telling me congratulations, now the next thing was for me to go to the offices, or which is over there. I went to the offices, and after 1 hour, I received my driving license. This is my driving license, of which I don't want to show you. This is my driving license. It's just almost the same with it's like an ID. This is my driving license. It's like an ID, as I have shown you. And now I have my driving license over here. It's almost the same with Kenyan driving license, because this was the old Kenyan driving license. Myself, I had done a driving license in Kenya. This was my old Kenyan driving license. And still I had also my new Kenyan driving license. And still I had also my new Kenyan driving license over here with me. I had my Kenyan. So I have these two licenses, the Kenyan driving license and the American driving license. So I know, let me now give you a summary of how you can apply the driving license over here in the US. I told you the first thing, you're gonna do the learner's permit. Once you do your learner's permit, you're gonna do it on PennDOT. And the cost of doing learner's permits is that $5, that $5 to $40, that $5 to $40. Once you do your learner's permit, I told you you're gonna need learner's permit in line. You won't go to school to do your learner's permit. Just download that manual driving book of your state in your phone. Read it for several couple of days or 1 week or whatever. Once you know that you are okay now to book for learner's permit, tell your host to book you the learner's permit. I told you the document that are needed to book for learner's permit. It's your social security card and your passport, nothing else. And once you go and you do your learner's permit, once you pass, there you can go and pass or fail. When you fail, there is no worry, because you can rebook your test again the following day or the following. You are given like 3 chances on your learner's permit. And even if you fail in those 3 chances, don't worry, because the thing it will be is you will pay again. It is not that they will hinder you to do the 4th test, but the thing is you will pay from the 4th time. Now you will pay afresh. But that $5 or $40 that you will pay, it gives you 3 chances on your learner's permit to do the theory test. But once you do the theory test, it is very simple and pass. Now you will be given this paper. It's a learner's permit. I can't just open it. Once you are given this paper, now the thing is you are good to go for your host to teach you on physical driving test. And when your host teach you physical driving test, you will book your physical test, driving test at DMV. You will book at physical driving test at nearby DMV. And this is just a word of wisdom. When you book a physical driving test at nearby DMV and you see that they don't have a sooner date, it is not illegal for your host to book for you at the next DMV office. At the next DMV office, might be you are in Texas, you are in Dallas, Texas, and Dallas, Texas DMV don't have a sooner date. It is not illegal to book at Houston DMV. It is not illegal to book at Houston DMV office. So if I tell you and your host, you will see that Dallas, Texas doesn't have a sooner date, just go ahead and book at Houston DMV if at all they have a sooner date. And once you book your DMV, you will pay nothing at DMV, because the money that you paid at driving test, the money that you paid at runner's permit at PennDOT to book your runner's permit, it is still the same money that you're gonna use to at DMV. So that $5 that you paid or $40 that you paid will cater for your driving physical test. And once you go for your driving physical test, the only document that you are supposed to have is still the same. Even you want a social security card and your passport. Then your driver will have his car, because you will use your driver car to do the test. Over here you will use your driver's car or your host car or whatever car that will be teaching you on how to drive. You will use his or her car to do your driving test. You will use his or her car to do a driving license, to do a driving test. Then he himself, he is supposed to have an insurance of the car, and he knows what will be required for him to do to the retest, to show that the car has an insurance or that stuff, or in the registration number. Your host or whoever will supposed to have a registration number of the car and something like that. Once you do your driving test, once you do your physical driving test, within the same day or within several hours, you will get a driving license. You will get your driving license. It's a smart card. You will get a driving license. So the same day, you will, over here, unlike my country Kenya, when you used to do a driving test, you had to wait like 3 weeks or 1 month for you to get a driving license. But over here in the US, immediately after you pass your driving test, 1 hour or 2 hours, you will go home with the driving license. You will go home with the driving license. So that's all about it, guys, how you can apply your driving license over here in the US. My advice says, once you relocate over here in the US, your first day, your second day, your third day, please start reading for your theory work at Manual Driving License. It's an online. You're gonna Google it or you're gonna download it. It's a PDF form. And once you read that, cooperate with your host. Tell your host to book you a runner's permit test. Once you pass your runner's permit test, now tell your host to start teaching you on how to do the physical test, on how to drive the car physically. And once your host teach you and you think that you are now okay to do the parallel parking and to do the physical driving test, now book your driving test appointment at DMV. And once you go to your DMV driving test and you pass, you will be given your driving license. But don't worry, even if you go and fail at DMV, you are given the chances to try. You are given the chances to try. And you can try even the following day and the following day. Because it is not illegal even when you fail today to reapply tomorrow. And once you go to fail tomorrow to reapply the other day. But when you fail those 3 times, it is not illegal to apply other different time, but you will have to pay afresh. So that's all about it. Driving over here in the US is not that hard. Driving over here in the US is not that hard. I will come with another video to tell you on how you can go about buying a car over here in the US. So that's all about it, guys. May God bless you. May God be with you. If at all you need more information than that, go to Google. Go to Google, by the way. Go and Google how to apply driving license in Texas, how to apply driving license in California, how to apply driving license in Pennsylvania, how to apply driving license in the state that you might be wanting to go. Or go to other YouTube stuff, other YouTube blogger. Maybe you will see another YouTuber who made a video concerning on how to apply a driving license in the state that you will be going. Make Google your friend and you will run out. Bye bye. God bless you. And please, if you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, and together our dream will come true one day. Please subscribe and God bless you. Bye.